So here, recording starts. This is Dr. Aisha Butaria. I have joined the IT department as a successor. I'm really happy to see the fresh faces here. Okay, I was supposed to, when all the people will come, maybe in a week's time, we'll take the introduction session of everybody so that you also connect because you might also come after a long time for the online session. Okay, so I welcome you back to the campus. Just wanted to know that I was made aware to take transaction management for you people. So already are the lectures conducted for transaction management? Yeah. No? Okay. And I think Subhitra madam was taking it. So how was the syllabus going on? I mean, the PPTs are already shared of the previous units? Not shared? Then how you managed it, the previous units? Yeah, the PPTs have been shared. Okay, so you are well aware with the DBMS subjects? Yes? Okay, so can we go to the transaction management directly? You are doing coding, SQL. You know all the DML operations. You are wearing mask and speaking, no? So probably it's not audible. Yes, exactly. Queries are such a thing, it needs practice. Like the more you do the programming, coding, you understand the concept. Otherwise, you can't bug up all the programs, right? It comes by practice. It's very, very natural, not only for you, but even when we did. Okay, why we are, teaching you because we have, and we become experts, not because we have got very good, very big knowledge. No, it comes by experience. And when we teach a topic, or when we, even you people, if you study the same topic first time, you won't understand. Only your eyes can see. Second time, your brain sees, conceives. Third time, your heart sees. So the more and more times you go through it, it goes to your soul. So maybe after 5-6 times, it goes to your soul, and you won't even forget even in the next uh, generation. That's the way it is. So it's not we are experts, it's being practiced. We are doing the same thing again and again. But yes, even if a new query and a complex query comes to us, we also need to think about it. Maybe by practice, some queries we can do like that. So for you, it will take time. Do not worry. If you want to become an expert, the only mantra is the more you practice, the more you become. There is no other logic. Even no guide, no expert can help you on. You have to help on that matter. Okay. So now I'm just making you things easy. Type on Google Course PPT transaction management. Okay. Course, because the book suggested to you is Course. The author is Course, right? Database-based management system by Course. It's a very famous book. And when we were doing engineering, we also had the same textbook 25 years ago. Okay, so same book is still there. I don't know why, but yet yes, it is. So for easier for us, jo pada wahi deliver karna hai. And now things are very easy. Just type and you will get the PPT from there. You might be knowing this also, right? You know it? Okay, so the moment we do that, we click this particular first link itself, we go to and here you can go to the PPT and you can download, right? So our fourth unit is transaction management, and the PPT, I've already downloaded it. So it's visible. So now I just wanted to know whenever a new concept comes, I always suggest students take it in a very, very English-like language. Don't go into much details. What we do, we are experts in making simple things complex. And that is called artificial intelligence in today's world. I call artificial intelligence in today's world is common sense. Because for 2 into 2 also people look for mobile. So frankly artificial intelligence, as for me today, is common sense. So whenever such big words are coming, you are trying to analyze it complex. No need. Make it as simple as possible. Things are simple actually. They are very, very easy and very, very simple. Our human brain is made that way that we are very expert to make simple things complex. But actually life should not be like that. We should make complex things simple, enjoy. Life also and study also, both. So the moment this new term has come, can you just analyze it simply in English language? Transaction. Yeah, we are transacting. On what way? Anything. We are transacting notes, we are transacting bank details, we are transacting amounts in the bank details, whatever. A normal transaction means exchange. Clear? But what is the challenge in exchange? Simple, huh? Think simple. ये बड़े-बड़े words देख के घबराने का नहीं है. Just think it simple. Come again. Again, entity, no complex words. Simple. Yeah, so reachability is one aspect. Very good. You should be reachable to the so in database, reachability means reachability to the data item. For example, if you have done computer organization, this is something called as cache coherency. What is cache coherency? It comes in when you have multi-processor system. What is the difference between multi-processing and multi-computing? It's a very, very interesting topic. And it is done in your basics, actually. Does anybody tell? No? Multi-processing, multi-computer? Again, you're going into the concepts. Simple words, English like multi-processing. Multi means many. Processing means in computer, just connect to the CPU. So there will be multiple CPUs, okay, doing the same job. Right? So they are doing the same job. They need to share the memory. Obviously, if you are all working on a single file, that file should be single, no? If I make multiple copies, then what challenges will become? There will be redundancy in the data. Redundancy means duplication. And in duplication, what can happen? Consistency can be lost. What is consistency? It should be, if the data item is same, the value should be same everywhere. Okay. So in multiprocessing, CPUs are different. Why? Because you want to do the job faster. So you have done the load sharing. Understood? So you are basically incorporating multiple CPUs to carry out one task, but the memory would be the same. That is multiprocessing. Whereas multi-computing means computer. Again, catch single English-like word. Don't make artificial common sense. Multi-computing computer. What does computer have? CPU, input, output, and memory. Primary and secondary. This is what CPU is. So the moment you say that you have a primary memory and secondary memory, so processing and computing में क्या फर्क होगा? Computing में you will have additional. Every processor will have input different, output different, and you will have memory also different. That means they are not doing single job. When input is different, output is different, job is different. Simple English like, okay? So that is called as parallel computing. What is parallel computing? There another lecture is going on, maybe XYZ faculty is taking. Input is different. Students are the input. Outcome is different. That is the topic which is being delivered is different. Right? Your input is different.
Hi.
Outcome is different.
हाँ
Somebody else
क्या
is
कॉलेज खुल गया तुम लोग का?
हाँ हाँ ऑनलाइन बाय
if any same topic some other teacher is delivering, still teacher may be different, topic may be different, the way topic has been delivered, examples may be different. So that means task is different. So this is parallel computing going on. What is distributed system? It is multiprocessing. Multiprocessing input is the same. That means you. Teacher is coming and going. things are clear. Why we are doing this? I told you earlier, the only reason of multiprocessing is load sharing. Suppose today 3 teachers are absent. Still this class will be continued. Some 2 teachers are present, they will take double lecture. But if only 1 teacher is allocated all subjects and she is absent, so today's day is a failure. So there is a centralized system where suppose 1 teacher allocated everything. If crashes, all data crashed. All work stopped. One is distributed system, that is 1 step ahead, where you have multiple CPUs, but still the task and input is same. And there is parallel system, which is multi-computer. The input same, input different, output different, and there are memories also not shared. Okay. So now the challenges which a transaction have, first is reachability. Reachability, we came to that topic that if there is a cache currency problem, that means if the memory is shared. Okay, suppose X item, A processor tries to retrieve X item, and immediately B also retrieves the same item, but A tries to update it. Will B get the updated copy? That's the challenge. So cache currency protocols, please write down. Some people have not even take out the notebooks. You need to make notes because otherwise the teacher will speak for hours, and after the lecture you will think that what did she actually speak? Okay, so that dissatisfaction comes when you do not write the highlights. And that dissatisfaction you should not have. You have to take care that you have to take away from this person who is coming here. Okay? I know I am telling you to be selfish, but you have to be. Okay, you should go to the teacher and ask doubts because that's your right. And it is a duty to tell. But if you will not go, that teacher will enjoy. So who is doing bad? You are. Okay. Just be humble and ask. Okay. If she is in a bad mood, then probably she will not entertain you now. Don't give up. Go again. It must be a bad day for her as well. Okay. It's a job to do. So first find is, what is DBMS? Transaction, okay, it's a very hi-fi topic. Everybody you ask, okay, very hi-fi topic. First, let me know, what is DBMS? What is DSL? Data structure algorithm. In this subject, database systems and analysis. Okay, so what is database system analysis? Better, I want to first ask, what is database management system? DBMS, which can manage our data. Database management system, which will manage our data. Please tell me what you want to manage. Very good. Okay. Very good. Very good. Do you want to know the answer from the expert? Okay, write it down. Database management system means to store the data efficiently in order to retrieve the data in a faster way. Should I repeat? No. Okay. So what is database manage? You have first, it is of 2 parts. Manage means 2 things. First, you need to store it properly. जब आप सुबह आते हैं ना, आपके कपड़े कवर में अच्छे से स्टोर नहीं है, टाइम लगता है, पर अल्टीमेटली स्टोर अच्छे से क्यों करना है? The purpose is to get the data item faster. That is the main purpose. What is the main purpose? To get the data item faster. Today तो fast food technology है, किसी को patience है ही नहीं. Can you wait? हमारे जैसे कि we used to www.yahoomail.com आधा घंटा पेज आने में लगता था. If nowadays it will happen, you will leave the job, नारे लगाओगे, whatever you will do, but you can't tolerate, है ना? But we are from those days where loading a page requires. So the problem is today, if two people are conducting the same on the same problem statement project, one stores data efficiently, but other has another good strategy of accessing the data faster. Which project you would like? Because that's fine. And for that, actually, we are managing the data properly. So the first task is to access the data, and in order to do that, we are learning all the strategies how to store the data. You understand? If you do not know the purpose of the subject you are doing, and if you know the purpose of the subject, 50% syllabus is over, actually. Okay? So, now we know what is DNS. What is transaction? Exchange, in simple words. Okay? So now we'll go to the what quote says, because ultimately you have to a transaction is a unit of program execution that accesses and possibly updates various data items. Before that, I was telling you to write down multiprocessing environment. What is that? To complete one job, different CPUs, shared memory. Multiprocessing environment. There are two types of systems. You can write down. There are two types of systems. One is multiprocessor processing. Second is multi-computing. In multiprocessing, multiple CPUs to perform same job and shared memory. Shared memory. That means input is same, output is same, only multiple CPUs for load sharing. Okay? Clear? Next is multi-computing. You थोड़ा space रखो because I will be adding some things in multi-processing also. So second is multi-computing. Different computers. Computers means in bracket we write down different input, different output, different CPU and different memory. So no shared memory concept. Okay? And different tasks to be performed. So for multiprocessing, distributed system. And for multi-computing, parallel system. If you have learned distributed systems or maybe advanced computer architecture, then what cache coherency problem protocols are used to solve shared memory. Okay, right? Because transaction management is very, very close to computer organization. It's more of a hardware concept. So, where we cache coherency protocols. I will give you homework. Please next time find out what are the two cache coherency issues and how to solve it through the protocols. First protocol is write invalidate. The other is write update. Write invalidate and write update. Now, frankly speaking, this is our first lecture and we are connecting for the first time. Please let me know if you want me to stop. If you think that it's going bulky, I'll stop it. Okay, because even if I'll stop, I can give you some homework to be done at home because I know you can't listen for too long. But I will give you the highlights and you can do the homework and come again so that our syllabus is also and the concepts are clear. Okay, I won't miss on the concepts, but I don't want to drag it if you're not able to understand. The only thing is if I'll leave early, I'll give you some homework. That's all. Okay, because we can't do both, na? Come bhi padha aur syllabus bhi come nahi khatam karo, aisa nahi hai. ठीक है. So cache coherency protocol, write invalidate and write update. Because what does cache coherency protocol does? It handles the issues with shared memory. अभी मैंने क्या बताया कि if suppose data item X, has to be accessed by CPU A, right? और उसने उसको अपडेट किया, कुछ एडिटिंग किया. बाद में अगर ई प्रोसेसर उसी डेटा आइटम को लेना चाहता है, So it will not get the updated copy because still it is being processed by CPU A and it will try to approach its shared memory, right? Here, so what happens? Suppose there is a file here. I want all of you to update it. What I will do is I will give this copy, I will make multiple copies and I will give it to you all. But suppose you want certain data and the copy is being updated by her, then probably when you try to approach her, the copy has a non-updated copy. So what you have to do if there is a read operation going on, what are the CPU operations from the input output? Read, write. Read and write. What does read mean? Read means you are reading the data from hard disk to the primary memory, because whenever something is there in the primary memory, then only it can be worked upon. Do you agree? I think this we might be because the entire transaction chapter is based on read, write and execute. That's it. और कुछ है ही नहीं. Okay, so read means what? To get the data from hard disk to the main memory. What is write? When you are doing certain editing, the data is in the primary memory, then only you can do the write operation. And after writing operation, that data, when you say save, the moment you say save, what happens actually? The primary data is getting stored in the hard disk, because hard disk is a non-volatile memory, and primary memory is a volatile memory. The moment you switch off the computer, that data is gone. So you need to save it so that it gets transferred to the non-volatile. Yeah, that you already know, you're just refreshing it. So first homework, cache coherency protocol, write invalidate and write update. Second homework, you need to study the asset properties. Of course, we will do it in the next class, but if you study and come, the concepts would be clear in one class. Asset properties, ACID. A stands for atomicity. We will discuss that, but I want you to first, because you know, when some complicated topics are to be discussed, it should be read earlier, then you grasp it well. Atomicity A. C is, sorry, आखिरी का जो D है, that you can write it as durability. C is consistency. And I is isolation. But you know, it's very easy to remember ACID, asset properties. A for atomicity, I for isolation, okay? C for concurrency and D for durability. These slides are there available. I told you how to open this slide from Google. So it's very easy. Okay. Just give 15 to 20 minutes or half an hour before you come to the next lecture. Now, we were talking about multiprocessing. So that is a distributed system. Whereas multi-computing, that is a parallel system. What is the difference? Can anybody tell? What is the difference between distributed system and parallel system?
In distributed system, memory is shared between the processors.
Yes.
Memory is shared.
Yes.
And they are working on the same task.
Correct.
And in distributed system, tasks are different. Memory is different.
Yes. So happy to know you're listening. Okay. So when it is said multitasking, it is distributed system. When it is multi-computing, it is parallel system. Okay. You might have heard about tightly coupled system and loosely coupled system. Tightly coupled system means the memory is shared. So CPUs are compact and they are dependent on each other. You understand? You are dependent on each other. So the main highlight of distributed system is, that is multiprocessing system, is dependency. Because see, if I have a file over here and I wanted to complete it and I share it among 5 people, unless and until it may happen that the first page is completed, the second page cannot. So the second person has to wait till the first person completes. For example, tomorrow we have a deadline for certain community. We want data from 5 people. Unless and until that 5 data comes to me, I cannot compile it. So the dependency increases. So obviously, multi-processing and distributed system have load sharing, but it adds a disadvantage, that is dependency. Okay, कई बार ऐसा लगता है यार हम खुद ही कर लेते हैं तो अच्छा है, उसका कितना टाइम लग रहा है, मेरा कितना टाइम वेस्ट हुआ. So, but the best example of distributed system is mobile, application, network, and your internet. Can you even imagine how many mobile users are there and internet users are there? See about Vodafone. Can Vodafone handle it single-handed? No, it has multiple servers. Those multiple servers are in different countries, in different states, different cities, in different cities, different zones. Correct? Because it can't be handled by a single server. In such case, you need to have a dependent network, that is distributed system. So sometimes you have got an error, main server is down. So suppose Yahoo Mail main server is on US. वहां पे कुछ प्रॉब्लम है तो सब में प्रॉब्लम आएगी, लेकिन उसको जरूरी है लोड शेयरिंग, so many users. You understand? So you can write down the best example of distributed system. What is that? What is that? Yes. Internet and mobile network. And if you have learned data structure, both the networks are in the form of tree because they are dependent. No? Okay. Suppose the main server of US in your cloud is the root node, and then there are siblings, and then the child. So the main benefit of distributed system is load sharing, but the disbenefit is dependence. So and parallel computing, no dependence, but then the task is different. No? So it can't be compared with distributed system. And most of the applications are running distributed. Okay. Now, transaction. Coming to the transaction. Again, we should focus on our topic is transaction. And हमने जो इतना सारा discussion किया, why? Because what are the challenges in transaction? That was my question. So challenges are the asset properties. So if you have any question, what are the challenges of transaction? Those are asset properties. So you study asset properties and you will understand what are the challenges of transaction. For example, dependency, synchronization. Best example. You tell me how to handle it. Suppose I have scheduled a lecture at 1:55 today. Okay. Some people will say, no, ma'am, in my watch it was 1:45. Some will say it was 1:58, 1:59. Okay. There will be an argument here. But for computing, even microsecond is important. Then are you going to argue with the CPUs? No, because they are dependent. No, in one fraction of second after this CPU completes the task, then this will start. You will think that it is going parallelly, but the fraction of second is so minor that it is in sequence. So you can write down distributed system is done in a sequential manner. Job is performed in a sequential manner, but the time lapse is in so microseconds that we feel that it is being happened parallelly. Write it in your own words. Okay, should we continue? Because the Zoom meeting is running out of time, so I need to reschedule one more. So should we continue? Are you comfortable? Very good. So immediately when this Zoom meeting will end, I will make another ID and I will share on the group. So those who are online kindly know. So where were we? Hello? Where were we? Are you writing? Yeah. Okay. So what are the challenges of transaction management? There are the asset properties that we will take in maybe coming lecture. And the distributed system, the task is done in the sequence manner, but the time lapse is so less in microseconds, computing time, that we feel that the job is done parallel. Okay. But in parallel system, actually two transactions can perform at the same time. Yes. So now you understand clearly now what is a transaction? A transaction is basically a part of distributed system or parallel system. Tell me. Yes, you are absolutely right. May I know your name, please? Mal Patel, absolutely right. Transaction can be a part of both, right? But what is concurrency? Have you heard the word concurrency? Okay, so another topic which will come up maybe in 2-3 lectures, concurrency control. Okay, but I'm trying to tell you the words. They look very high-fi. Nothing to worry. Concurrency means the task which is done simultaneously. Is it? Is it? Is it? No. See, this in a distributed transaction. You can write it down. In a distributed transaction, two transactions run concurrently. Two transactions run in distributed systems. In distributed systems, two transactions run concurrently, whereas in parallel systems, they run concurrent, they run simultaneously. They run simultaneously. Okay, so we will end this lecture and reschedule, right? And the topic for this lecture was totally distributed system, parallel system, concurrent transaction, simultaneous transaction, tightly coupled, loosely coupled, multi-computing, multi-processing. What do you mean by concurrently? Is nothing but distributed transactions. Means we feel that they are running parallelly, but they are in a sequential manner. Whereas simultaneously means they are actually running parallelly. Parallel means two jobs at the same time. Is that clear? So we'll stop here. This is Dr. Aisha Butalia signing off for this particular session. Thank you very much for your patience listening.